There's no doubt about it. Drake has faced another setback. This incident may not make headlines for long, but its impact is significant. His defamation lawsuit against Universal Music Group concerning Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us has been dismissed. The court made it clear that the case had no merit, with the judge labeling it a non-actionable opinion, meaning you can't sue someone for their personal views. In this instance, the judge indicated that Kendrick was merely sharing his opinions rather than spreading lies. What makes it sting even more is that everyone heard those lyrics, recognized their significance, and agreed that Kendrick didn't need to fabricate anything. The truth was evident in every beat, punchline, and name drop that set social media on fire. Welcome to Celebrity Cookies, where the tea is always hot and the stories come with sprinkles of surprise. Make sure to subscribe, leave a comment with your take on the story. Let's take a moment to reflect. When Not Like Us was released, it wasn't just another diss track, it was seismic. The entire rap scene changed overnight. People paused everything just to hear that beat drop. From the moment Mustard's tag played, the streets sensed something monumental was coming. Kendrick didn't come to play nice, he came to dominate the conversation. And that's precisely what he accomplished. Not Like Us wasn't structured like a typical song. It was crafted like a mirror, reflecting every rumor, whisper, and suspicion surrounding Drake. The key difference was that Kendrick voiced it openly, with rhythm and intensity. It became the anthem of a summer, perhaps even of a decade. So when Drake attempted to retaliate legally, it already appeared to be a desperate move, like he was trying to erase a stain that had already set in front of the entire world. See, defamation suits are tricky in hip-hop. You can't just say, "He lied about me in a song," and expect the judge to throw you a sympathy party. Hip-hop is built on opinion, exaggeration, bravado, and sometimes uncomfortable truths. The court knows that. What Kendrick did was use the art form the way it was meant to be used, to challenge, to expose, to provoke. And legally, that's what protected him. The judge's statement said it all. Those bars were opinion, not fact. And in music, opinion is free speech. Drake's lawyers probably walked into that courtroom thinking they had a shot. But the moment that ruling hit, it was over. The court wasn't about to set a precedent that would silence artists. Because if this case had gone the other way, it would have changed rap forever. Every artist who ever dissed somebody would have been at risk. Imagine that. No more lyrical warfare, no more ether, no more back-to-back. The culture would have been handcuffed. But the court didn't let that happen. And now, it's like the world just hit replay on Kendrick's words. Not Like Us wasn't just protected by law, it was validated by it. The same track that had Toronto fuming is now legally stamped as protected art. That's a whole new level of victory. Think about the irony. Drake tried to use the system to silence a song, and the system turned around and crowned that same song as untouchable expression. That's poetic in the cruelest way, especially for someone who built his career off controlling the narrative. This time, he lost control completely. For Drake, this has got to sting deeper than the bars ever did. Because in court, there's no beat, no crowd, no emotion to sway the moment. It's just law and logic. And both said Kendrick didn't defame anybody. That means everything Kendrick said, every subliminal, every accusation, every coded jab gets to live forever. The internet made memes out of it. Clubs turned it into a chant. Stadiums turned it into an anthem. And now, the court just turned it into precedent. You can almost hear the laughter echoing from every corner of the culture. Because while Drake tried to fight the message, Kendrick stood back and let the music and the law speak for him. When you think about it, this isn't just a win for Kendrick. It's a win for hip-hop. It proves that rap's raw honesty, even when it cuts deep, still has protection under free speech. It shows that storytelling, no matter how harsh, is still art. And that's what makes this moment so big. Kendrick didn't just beat Drake in music, he beat him in principle. He stood on something bigger. And that's what separates him from everybody else in this era. The way he moves isn't reactionary, it's strategic. Every verse, every decision, every silence, it all serves a purpose. And right now, that purpose looks like legacy. Drake's team might have thought a legal win could restore his image, maybe even force some kind of apology or financial settlement. But when the judge ruled against him, it did the opposite. It made him look like a man trying to rewrite a story that's already been written in stone. You can't see your way out of cultural impact. And that's what Not Like Us became. A cultural moment that outgrew the feud itself. The world moved on from the beef, but the song stayed alive. It became a soundtrack to something bigger. The moment hip-hop reminded everyone it's still dangerous, still honest, still raw. And Drake's lawsuit just made that reminder louder. Now, the streets are talking again. People are asking, what's next for Drake? Does he try to come back musically? Does he stay quiet and ride this out? Because every move he makes now will be watched under a microscope. Every lyric, every caption, every business play, it's all going to be seen as a response, even if he says it's not. The internet never forgets, and this court ruling just carved another chapter into a story that won't fade. For a man who built his brand on being untouchable, this hits different. Especially when the one who touched him didn't even have to show up in court. The funny part is, Kendrick didn't comment once. No press release. No interview. Nothing. Just silence. That's the power move of a man who knows he already won. Let your opponent scream into the void while you watch from the throne. It's the kind of composure that makes fans respect you even more. Because at this point, Kendrick doesn't have to say a word. His music does all the talking. And now, the legal system does too. It's wild how Not Like Us started as a diss track and ended as a cultural declaration. The whole world danced to a diss. You could hear it at weddings, basketball games, barbecues, and nightclubs. The song turned from a weapon into a celebration. It went beyond Drake. It became about energy, pride, unity. The line "They Not Like Us" became a statement, a chant, a divider between authenticity and imitation. And now, with this court ruling, it carries another layer: immunity. Nobody can touch it, not even the person it was aimed at. Behind closed doors, you can bet Drake's camp is frustrated. This wasn't just about pride, it was about money, image, and control. Defamation suits like this are often about drawing lines in the sand, making people think twice before speaking your name. But in this case, the line got erased before it was even drawn. And that's gotta be a hard pill to swallow, especially for someone used to winning the PR game. 4 years, Drake managed to keep his name spotless in the media, no matter how messy the situations got. But this time, it wasn't just social media he was fighting, it was the culture itself. And that's a battle nobody can win. This ruling is going to echo for years in the industry. Artists are watching closely, taking notes. It's a message that says, speak your truth, just don't lie. Be bold, be raw, be unfiltered, but keep it real enough that it stands on its own. That's what saved Kendrick. His words didn't come off as slander, they came off as perspective. And the court recognized that. In the eyes of the law, that's the difference between defamation and freedom of speech. And for hip-hop, that's everything. Because without that freedom, the whole art form dies. If you think about the bigger picture, this could change how future beefs unfold. Artists might feel even freer to talk their talk without worrying about getting sued. But on the flip side, they'll know they gotta be smart about how they word it. Kendrick just showed the blueprint, how to dismantle somebody without crossing the legal line. It's like he played chess while everyone else was playing checkers. He didn't just win in the booth, he won in the courtroom without even showing up. Now that the case is closed, the final word is in the public's hands. And the public has already spoken. The song still dominates playlists. The dance still pops up on TikTok. Stadiums still echo with the chant. And now, it carries an extra layer of power because it's untouchable in every sense. That's legacy right there. Not just breaking records, but breaking barriers. Not Like Us has become one of those rare songs that transcends its moment. It started as a diss, turned into a movement, and now it's a piece of legal history. Drake will recover, he always does. But something shifted. This wasn't just a hit to his reputation, it was a hit to his authority. For the first time in a long time, he couldn't spin the narrative in his favor. And that's what makes this loss different. You can almost feel the balance of power in hip-hop changing. Kendrick didn't just win a song battle, he redefined the rules of engagement. The industry's watching. The fans are watching. And deep down, even Drake knows it. Some fights can't be won with lawyers or lyrics. Sometimes, the truth is louder than both. At the end of the day, this isn't just about one lawsuit. It's about what it represents. It's about an artist standing on his words and the world, legally and culturally, backing him up. It's about freedom in its purest form, the right to express, to challenge, to speak your mind without fear of punishment. And whether you like Kendrick or not, you gotta respect that. He walked the line between art and accusation like a pro, and came out untouched. Drake swung back with everything. Music, media, money, but it wasn't enough. Because when the story's this powerful, the truth sells itself. So yeah, the case is closed. The motion to dismiss, granted. The lawsuit, gone. But the message, still ringing louder than ever. You can't see your way out of cultural truth. And in the streets, in the clubs, in the stadiums where Not Like Us still shakes walls and hearts, everybody already knew that. The court just made it official. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this situation, so please share your opinions in the comments. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay updated on this story.